I'm the best.
Hello friends, Andy here. Avengers Endgame is finally available to rent and purchase, so I was pretty excited to rewatch all that glorious 10 plus years of MCU conclusion. As I watched Endgame, a few things really resonated with me. One, it's pretty amazing that Marvel has built this universe that stretched out over a decade, and two, that Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is, in my opinion, the greatest of the MCU characters. So, here are 6 reasons why Tony Stark / Iron Man is the greatest of the MCU characters. Iron Man is the original. While technically speaking and chronologically speaking, within the MCU, Iron Man was not the first. He was certainly the first for viewers. He was this grand bet that Marvel made, and the bet that paid off big. See, Iron Man was a B-list hero at best, and Marvel took him and made him the prototypical MCU figurehead. If audiences hadn't fallen in love with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, then the MCU wouldn't have worked.
I love you 3,000.
3,000? That's crazy.
And without Iron Man, there is no 10 plus years of MCU, and the golden age of superhero moviedom.
I am Iron Man.
So this point is almost not worth making because it's so obvious, but Robert Downey Jr. is a treasure. Talk about an acting comeback, this guy is unstoppable. After battling with drug and substance abuse for years and basically being blacklisted from Hollywood, RDJ is now one of the biggest names and highest earning actors working. I can't think of another person better built for the role of Tony Stark / Iron Man.
You're welcome, I guess.
All the charm, quirks, humor, and struggles on and off screen absolutely make the character.
Tell you what, you got it. You're absolutely right.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
You know, the question I get asked most often is, Tony, how do you go to the bathroom in the suit? Just like that.
Before all the other Avengers got comfortable in their characters and with their own humor, before Thor had Ragnarok, we had Tony Stark as the comic relief. His humor, wit, and one-liners are a constant throughout all the Marvel movies and help elevate these films from other studios' offerings that have a tough time with the humor, drama, action balance.
For lack of a better option, dummy is still on fire safety. If you douse me again and I'm not on fire, I'm donating you to City College.
Tony Stark literally makes all the other Avengers better. He outfits them with the best technology, vehicles, headquarters. Captain America has outdated leather straps to hold his shield on? No problem. Now he's got a super cool techie magnet thing. Problem solved. Spider-Man runs around in a sweatshirt and a ski mask? Not anymore. Now he has the coolest Spider-Man techno wonder suit to date.
You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
Mr. Stark really overdid it.
Furthermore, who is Tony Stark himself without Iron Man? And what is Iron Man without the technology and suits? I saw the original Iron Man on opening night in the theater in 2008, when Tony puts on the Mark III suit, drops out of the sky into the superhero landing pose in the desert. The audience went crazy, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Each piece of tech one up the next from movie to movie. We got to see the briefcase suit, the Hulk Buster, and even the bleeding edge armor. Iron Man has all the coolest stuff. I love Iron Man because he's a man without superpowers. Like his DC Comics counterpart Bruce Wayne / Batman, Tony Stark uses his immense resources, financially and intellectually, to become one of the most formidable heroes of them all. Tony Stark comes to the superhero table at a disadvantage. He's just human, but he uses that as his strength. He uses his brains, super wealth, and his character to his advantage.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Not only is Tony Stark believable, but he's also relatable. He's just a person, and because of that, he's flawed. He makes mistakes. The MCU shows us his victories, but just as often shows us his failures.
A few years ago, I almost lost her, so I trashed all my suits. Then we had to mop up Hydra, and then ULTRON. My fault.
We can relate to somebody who isn't perfect but tries their best. On that note, Tony Stark is not only flawed and relatable, but he has an incredible character arc. When we first meet him, he's an uncaring, selfish, always right, womanizing, super rich arms dealer. He stands for pretty much everything wrong with the world.
Christine Everhart, Vanity Fair magazine. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
She's cute. She's all right. Hi.
From that, though, he's transformed into arguably the most selfless and caring hero of the MCU.
Oh, that's Charles Spencer, by the way. Charlie didn't want to go to Vegas or Fort Lauderdale, which is what I would do. He didn't go to Paris or Amsterdam. He decided to spend his summer building sustainable housing for the poor, guess where? Sokovia. He wanted to make a difference, I suppose. I mean, we won't know because we dropped the building on him while we were kicking ass. If we can't accept limitations, we're boundaryless. We're no better than the bad guys.
Willing to go to any length, even repeatedly sacrificing himself to keep the world and the people he loves safe.
If you find this recording, don't post it on social media. It's gonna be a real tearjerker.
While it's clear that any of the Avengers are willing to give themselves in heroic sacrifice when the need arises, I think Iron Man is the special case. Certainly notable in their service and willingness to give is Captain America or an ENDGAME Black Widow, but I'd argue that Tony Stark has a lot more to lose and doesn't fit the self-sacrifice mold as cleanly. Captain America is a soldier outside of time, no one to care about besides his teammates and no material possession to miss. In his final act, Tony Stark gives up the family, friends, and all the good his resources can do for the world to save it. And that wasn't even the first time he tried to do that. I think that's a pretty powerful testament to the character. So those are my 6 reasons why I think Iron Man is the greatest character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 1 through 3. I absolutely loved his introduction, and I couldn't have thought of a more fitting and perfect goodbye to the character. So, do you agree with me? Do you think Iron Man is the greatest MCU character? Let me know in the comments below, or if you disagree with me, who do you think is the greatest MCU character? Thanks for watching.